Writers Guild strike.
Right. That is big news. And this is Rob and Todd all over the big news. So, for those that aren't in the know, Hollywood works on a union basis. Producers, directors, actors, they all have their own unions, just like writers. And if you're not aware, the writers' union has gone on a strike against the producers' union, which is ceasing production right now all over Hollywood. Most notably, Saturday Night Live, all the late-night talk shows.
Stranger Things, yeah.
They're doing this. Some shows like Stranger Things, they're in the production stage where the writer's strike doesn't necessarily affect them directly, but out of respect to the union and those writers and what they're fighting for, and I'll get to that in just a minute, they are shutting down production. And Stranger Things has already suffered during COVID as far as production delays. The kids are getting older, yet they're still playing high school students, which is getting a tad bit unbelievable. Just a bit. Like, I'm sorry. Like, the last season...
if I went back to high school, I would fit in. But I could see where they would have trouble pulling it off.
The kids are growing up too fast, and obviously Netflix isn't on like a regular television production schedule, so it could take literally a year before the next season's released. And
everybody has Netflix other than me.
I mean, it was the first, and therefore had the edge on the whole streaming revolution. And they do produce some good original content. They've stepped it up recently, but they used to kind of be all over the place with the original content.
You were getting to something.
Yes. Going back to the writer's strike here, the reason why there's this standoff that they can't seem to reach a deal on, from my understanding, one of the big issues, and I think it's interesting because it also touches on a technological front, is the use of AI in creative endeavors.
Here we go again.
Yeah, production companies are like, well, let's just see what this technology goes. And writers are like, no, they're what you're going to do is develop an AI software so formulated to the Hollywood structure that you won't need writers anymore. That's what they're basically looking out for, their jobs. And you can't really ever replace that human element or that human brand. Like, an AI written movie could be as good as Quentin Tarantino's movies, but is it really a Tarantino movie if he didn't write it? And that's what a lot of people, including myself, pay to, partially why we pay to see his movies. It's that brand. But AI.
The creativity is not going to be there with AI. I don't care what anyone says.
One could argue the creativity isn't even there in Hollywood. You have creative writers, but you have producers who are like, oh, this is a great idea, but I want to make another Transformers movie.
Yeah, well, they've become a little more robotic themselves, too. No pun with Transformers.
That's the big news in Hollywood right now, and we're kind of curious to see.
If you want cookie cutter, the best way to get it is to have a cookie cutter, which would be AI.
Yeah.
So, that's probably why it's trending in that direction, but so many of us don't want cookie cutter. I can't handle another superhero movie. Non-stop action and universe after universe is colliding.
Let's just bring all the heroes in, because why not? We're running out of mainstream ideas, mainstream heroes, and things to do with these heroes.
I just need the plot to kind of intertwine with everyday life, even if it's sci-fi.
The silver lining here is that, like everything, superhero movies are a trend, and honestly, I think that trend is coming. It's not coming to an end, but it's definitely losing steam. The biggest superheroes, the most profitable ones, have already had their movies and their story arcs made. DC's getting a full reboot, but Marvel is too entrenched to their own universe that they can't just reboot anybody, not with it making sense at least. But what I see come on the horizon, especially with the success of the Super Mario Brothers movie, are video game movies. I see a lot of studios buying up rights to video games, developing live action as well as animated video game movies. So prepare for a slew of those. Mortal Kombat 2 is about to go in production with their Johnny Cage cast as Carl Urban from The Boys, and in my personal favorite, Dredd fame. If you haven't seen Judge Dredd.
Well, we'll let you know when an actual good movie comes out.
Yeah. Check out Dredd, though. That's one of those hidden gems. Not Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd. The good Judge Dredd, just known as Dredd. Carl Urban. Check it out.
Never seen.
Oh, it's great, man. It's fucking great. But anyway, that's, in a nutshell, that's what's going on in Hollywood with the writer's strike. It'd be a hell of a time for me to get a job, but I would, in a sense, be kind of turning my back on the union, and I would love to be a part of that union someday, so I'm for the strike.